is going on, YouTube? It is your man's Mr. Dominic Cruz, featuring on ABC, NBC, CBS, Yahoo, and Fox, coming at you with another video. Yes, another one. And I hope you guys are trying for your purpose and mission life. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell every time I make a video. You'll be the first one to know. So I have the lovely Marie here. And Marie, why don't you tell the audience about yourself real quick, and let them know what you do, and why we're doing this.
Okay, well, we're doing this so people can have a lot more fun. So I just want everybody to call me MC. My name is Marie Claire Tovette, but please call me MC. And MC's in the house. And I'm here to talk to you guys all about sex and dating. I'm a dating coach, and I'm certified from ASEC, the American Association for Sexual Educators, Counselors, and Therapists. I'm also a world sex coach and a Gottman certified couples coach. So I love helping couples, but I also love helping anybody who wants to get into dating, especially with regards to sex.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad that we got. I'm so glad that we met because. Okay, after every, because there's a lot of people that I've coached in the past that's trying to get over a breakup, and there's a lot of confusion. There's like they use sex to try to hide the pain. But I say no, don't hide the pain, but go on and have fun. Don't think about it. It's to have fun.
Yeah.
So, but people just still go try to sleep with someone else, ignore the experience, because they're just doing it to avoid pain. So let me ask you this, MC, and I love the name MC in the house. You know what it is. How long have you been a coach and a dating coach specializing in sex?
It's been almost 10 years. It's 9.5 years now.
Wow.
And I'm in heaven. This is like the best job on earth.
You seem like you're in heaven because like you got this energy where it's just like really relaxed. It's not only just relaxed, but you're just really happy, which a lot of people should be. That's what sex does to you.
It does. I'm just glowing right now.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people are could use a lot of that, especially with so much anger going on. But let me ask you this question. Do you do like live demonstrations in your sessions?
No, people always ask me that question. No, I don't. I don't do any live demonstrations. That would be a sexological body worker that would do that, where you can go in and they would teach you, but they don't just go ahead and do that. It takes a while for them to get to know you, find out what your issues are. They're very, very professional. And what I do is I'm a coach, so I'm a guide. So I would talk to you. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 31 years.
All right.
I actually taught sex ed to grade 7 kids, Dominic. So what I do is I teach, and then I have you do home play assignments. And that's not easy for people that are dating, Dominic. So I do encourage you, if it's not against your morals or against your values, to, when I have my clients come in, I actually teach them how to increase or how to improve their techniques, for instance, and I want them to practice on a live body. So I think your idea that you talked about at the beginning is awesome. And I think if you think about it, you're not using them because they're receiving so much pleasure from you. I'm teaching these techniques that are amazing. The first thing I teach, Dominic, is basics. Like we said earlier, we had a little chat. The basics is learn how to kiss, right?
Yep.
So I was just saying to Dominic earlier that 57% of men won't go on a second date based on a bad first kiss, and 69% of women won't go on a second date based on a bad first kiss. So the first thing I teach is how to kiss. No church kisses, no cheap kisses, no slobbery kisses. I teach you guys how to kiss so that that person's gonna want to come back for more again and again.
Yeah.
And it's going to get them excited. A really good kiss can really be a huge turn on.
I agree with that because let me just say past experiences have treated me very well. So, but let me ask you.
I bet you're a good kisser.
I ain't trying to brag right now. So I just want to stop right there. But let me ask you, because obviously a lot of the people that 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 are on this channel, they are dealing with there's some that are just dealing with struggles with their relationships, and there's some that are trying to get over their relationship. But what's a message that you would tell those people that are struggling with their relationships and trying to get over it? I know it's like a two-part question, but you can
Yeah,
start with
so the
whatever.
first one, struggling with their relationships. First of all, I would ask them to really see what are the good qualities that your present partner has, and what are the things that you have a really hard time with. And if you're having a really hard time with those things, and you've tried really hard to communicate to your partner what your needs are,
Mm-hmm.
and you've tried really hard and you've gotten help for it, I would definitely get help and support, because
Yep.
sometimes you need to hear it from somebody else. You need to hear it from a coach such as yourself. And if there's any kind of intimacy issues or anything like that, I'd be happy to help you. You need to get another perspective. And you need to see what's going to help you. Is it a therapist that's going to help you? Because the therapist would look at your history, right? They would look at what went wrong when you were a child, etc.
Oh
And
yeah.
a coach like yourself and myself, we would see what's going on right now and how we can help you to move forward in the future so you can have a better future. So that's the first
I
thing.
definitely want. Sorry, I want to pause you right there, because the
Yeah,
one important thing that you actually said is that you would make a list, all the things that you enjoy, that you like about your partner, and all
yeah,
the things that you struggle with. And I tell everybody all the time to make a pros and cons list of what you
yes.
enjoyed about about your ex, and what you didn't like. And I tell people that to do that also in relationships. I'm so glad that you touched up on that.
Yeah, and if you have the things that you're having issues with, you need to, two-thirds of the issues out there, they're not resolvable, according to
Hmm.
Gottman's, which is they're like the gurus right now of couples therapy. According to Gottman's, you cannot solve some issues. But what do you need to do? Can you live with them? Can you use your sense of humor? Can you work towards solving them? If that's not working and you've gotten help, then I would probably say, why suffer? Like, why are you suffering? Why are you staying in
Well,
life that you just don't want to live in,
you
that you
just
don't want to be in, what you don't want to suffer in anymore?
speaking
Um,
facts.
yes. And what was your second question?
The
It was
second one
about
is, so
moving on.
you already spoke on about the people who are struggling with relationships. What about people getting over a relationship?
Okay, getting over relationships. That is so important to get your confidence back.
Hmm.
You're usually what happens is your confidence goes way down and you're starting to question yourself. Don't question yourself. Like, start building yourself up again. Get to know what your values are. I work on that with all my clients. Work on your values.
Yeah.
Work on the red flags. And as a coach, having Dominic as a coach, he would let you know, these are the red flags I'm seeing right now. Like, listen to the red flags. We've already discussed what our red flags are, and I'm seeing red flags again. Haven't you seen, Dominic? A lot of people are in the cycle of, maybe always wanting the bad boy or always wanting, and these aren't always really respectful
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah.
So really sit back and really look at, what can I do so that I don't fall in those nasty traps for the future, so I can have a great future with my partner.
Uh-huh.
So take
I,
the time to do that.
I made a video about that recently, about red flags to look out.
Yes.
I said 5 red flags to look out for, but there's a lot more red
Mm,
flags.
right.
But let me ask you this: what made you want to become a sex coach?
Ooh, wow. I just want people to be happier. I find that
I love it.
sex is what makes me happiest. Really, really, it's how have you ever heard of the five love languages, Dominic?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
there are six. And the sixth love language is sex. Yes, if you think about it, physical touch is one and
Yeah.
sex is the other, because you might like to be touched, but you might not want to have sex a lot. Or you might want to have sex, but you might not want to cuddle. I want both of those, don't you?
We all do. Ah, it's definitely a fun. It's nice.
Couples to have more fun in their lives. And when you have a great sex life, you're glowing all the time, and you're
Yeah.
more creative, you're a yes person. The little toilet paper and the little toothpaste things, that doesn't bother you anymore when you have a great sex life. And I want to teach people that. I want to teach people how to have a lot more fun through play. I wrote a book called Honeymoon Playbook. And there it's all about when couples are start out having fun, exploring each other's bodies, play together, discover your erogenous zones, learn how to kiss, learn pleasure anatomy, learn how, what your partner's parts are and what makes them feel good. That's all in Honeymoon Playbook.
I gotta say that sounds very educational, and you guys got to get a copy of that. And talking about because talking about learning about your partner's pleasure, a guy from a guy's perspective, you know, what is one area that a guy should focus on to make his woman have like a euphoric experience?
Okay, two things. First of all, learn where her clitoris is and how to play with it. The
Mm-hmm.
clitoris is not just what you see in the outside, it goes all the way down to the urethra, which is
Mm-hmm.
inside to where
Yep.
we call the G spot area. It's not a spot, actually, it's an area. So that goes all the way in there. How do you pleasure that? It's not just about, pleasuring the head of the clitoris. There's a lot more to it. And I would schedule with your partner or your lover tonight a discovery, like a discovery date on how to pleasure clitoris. And what I do with my couples is I have them do a show and tell. So woman actually plays with herself, and the next day she has to show her husband, or that night even better, her husband or her boyfriend, how to pleasure her clitoris, because it's by playing with yourself and discovering, and try different things. Don't try to
Yeah.
do the same thing all the time. Like, use more
Curious.
than one finger,
Yeah.
go in between the clitoris, do circles, like have some fun with it. And I think too often, sweetheart, I think men go right to penetration. They do what they
Yep.
see in porn. So what do you see in porn? I go down on her, she goes down on me, and let's penetrate. You know what? She's not even having an orgasm by doing that. She's not. She's having an
I
orgasm
agree.
by, yeah, oral pleasure, because the clitoris, the organ, is a mini penis. And so I want to shout it out from the rooftops that women have orgasms usually through their clitoris, and the G-spot can make an even a more amazing orgasm. But paying attention to those two and not going right to it. Let's play, because I want to tell you about the clitoris and the G-spot. So the G-spot, when it's not excited, it's the size of a dime. When it's excited, it's the size of a quarter
Mm.
in most women. So if you get it excited, you're going to be able to find it and give her pleasure. And you do the come hither, and she's going to hit the roof. She's got to get over that
Yep.
feeling. She's got to get over that feeling of feeling like she has to pee. And when she squirts, that is actually a female ejaculate. That's the same thing that you guys have going on. Sometimes there's a little bit of pee in there, but I want people to get over that. It's very clean, and she's gonna have a great orgasm, guys, if you do that to her.
I agree. If I mean, because when you talk about when you're talking about the G spot and the clitoris, I started thinking back, and I was just like, damn, you explained it all. And not not only that, not only that, you know, I'll say that there were moments that I remember making one woman climax, and how she climaxed. She squirmed. It was like she was squirming all over the bed, because that
Squirting,
feeling,
yeah.
that sensation that she was, that
Yes.
feeling, it was, and I look back and I'm like, well done. So
Well,
I just
yeah,
had so much fun with
what I say,
it.
what I say to my clients that figure out how to do that? I say, now you are a sex god.
I mean, fellas, if you're watching this and if you made it this far too, and you learned something from it, and you look back into your previous experiences, you are a sex god to somebody. If you,
Yes.
so I'm so glad we're on this together. So you mentioned that a lot of guys just go straight into penetrate and just go straight into penetration and stuff like that.
Right.
Why do you
Right.
think that is? That guys just go straight into it and not want to focus on the little areas.
I when I've given workshops to men in the past,
Hmm.
they want to pleasure women. All of them, every man that's come to my workshops, they all want to pleasure women. They just don't know how. They just need to learn how. So women out there, teach them. Maybe teach them outside of the bedroom. Maybe not, unless you do like a night dedicated to exploring each other.
Hmm.
You do not correct your partner in bed. It's not a good place to correct them. It's got to be
No.
solely pleasure space. So correct, unless you're making it a discovery night where you're rating all of the different plays, all of the different techniques, you're
Hmm.
rating them for each other, and you're just having fun. It's like a theme night, a play night that you're having. And it's just so playful to do that and fun. Why not? Why not do that a little bit more? Have that conversation outside the bedroom, but do that discovery fun stuff inside the bedroom. All you can never say to a partner, you're doing something wrong, because that's going to make them feel bad. Nobody needs to feel bad in the bedroom. They'll be on their way to never becoming a sex god if you do that.
That's true. That's true. I think, and I think this can help some guy if I can ask this question, because I know there's some people out there that go through they don't feel like they can be or they would be a sex god because they don't last that long. So I'm gonna ask you, how can what would you say to the guy who's struggling to last long, who wants to last longer? What would you say to him?
The first thing I want to say to him is that it doesn't bother women as much as it bothers you. So,
That's true.
that's the first thing that I want to say to
That's
you.
true. It
And the
bothers the hell out of. Let me just say, like in the past, because I know it happened to me so many times. I would have been like, I know I'm probably the only one thinking so heavily about it, and the girl, she's probably like, it don't bother me. So
Yeah, she's saying, "Oh, you think I'm hot? Oh, you came fast because I'm
exactly,
hot." That's what women are thinking. They're
yeah,
thinking, "Oh, he couldn't control himself anymore because I'm hot." But I'll tell you what the solution is out there, guys. Focus on her. As soon as you've had an orgasm, focus on her so that you can get yourself going again, and then do it again. You're going to have it. It's
yeah,
going to take a lot longer the second time around. That's what people are forgetting. They just stop there and they think, oh my God, it happened again. And then it becomes a head thing
yeah.
where it's going to happen again and again, and you're feeling bad and you can't control it anymore. You know what? If you focus on her, she's going to love it.
Hmm.
And then whenever you're ready, try it again. And if you, and you'll probably, I'm probably guaranteed that you'll last a little bit longer, and then you go down on her again, or you play with her again, and then you do it again, do it over and over again, and she's gonna love you.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Isn't that make sense? That's the perfect strategy if this is happening, and you're gonna see that it's going to get better and better. Just hang in there. Don't psych yourself out. Just
Yeah,
have fun.
don't overthink it. Like, yeah,
Don't overthink it.
don't overthink it. Don't beat yourself up over it. It really is just an us thing. Um, I'm laughing about it because I know that I'm just laughing at like previous experiences, and it's just funny to laugh at rather than just looking at it as an embarrassing moment, because that's how I look at everything.
Mm,
So let me
yeah.
ask you this: you've been in this, you've been in a sex coach for a long time. What has been the most fascinating case that you dealt with?
Oh, I get this question all the time, and honestly, my cases aren't that fascinating. Like, I've got like kink stories and stuff like that, but I don't think that that's that fascinating because I accept everybody's story. I accept everybody's story. And when I was going to school, sex ed school, I
Mhm.
went to the Institute for Sexual Education and Enlightenment. We
Okay.
always said, don't yuck somebody else's yum. So
Okay.
I just love everybody's stories, and I accept everybody's stories. You're beautiful just the way you are. If you have, a kink, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, and you just need to find the person that's going to be accepting of your kink, and that would be a very open-minded person. Why wouldn't you want
Yeah.
an open-minded person,
Yeah.
right? You want
No,
somebody that's open-minded.
I agree. You should have an open-minded person, and especially for those that are out there trying to date again and stuff like that. Definitely always seek an open-minded person because, and that's why I tell people, date 3 to 6 months and then know your decision to commit.
Yes.
Um, because you never know that they could be open-minded right now, then
Yes.
and then later on there's like, no, no, no. But I want to ask you about this. As a sex coach, what do women ask you about?
Women want more romance, and they want they want men. Do you mean toward to how to have pleasure with a man? That's what you mean. So sorry.
Oh,
So
you
for
can ask.
that,
You can answer it that way too. You know,
yeah.
answer the
Well,
whole thing.
it's true that men want almost as much foreplay as women do, and that's it's been a bit of
Yeah.
a fallacy that men don't like foreplay, but they do. There's only 2 minutes difference according to studies, 2 or 3 minutes difference. So yeah, do take the time to touch them, massage them, get them to relax, because a lot of men have a hard time getting out of their head and into their bodies. I teach something called Sensate Focus. It's 4 sessions of really getting you to learn how to feel. Both men and women sometimes have a hard time getting out of their head and into their bodies. So learning Sensate Focus is exactly to help you to feel and to be
Hmm.
connected while you're feeling, not just, you're not looking at anything that's goal oriented. No, the goal oriented stuff never works. I'm going to get to the orgasm. How about looking at, the journey, not just the destination, really taking the time and being present with your partner. And when you're making love to them, really feel the energy you're giving to them instead of you thinking, am I doing this right?
Yeah.
Really feel the pleasure that you're getting out of touching them and seeing them receive the pleasure of your touch. And just looking at them and saying, oh my gosh, he's really enjoying this. This is awesome. I'm just going to get into it a little bit more and it's going to get better and better and better. So I teach this sensate focus, which is a really beautiful way to just touch without having any not forcing it and not feeling like you have to do an amazing job. It's just really learning how to be present with your partner. It's like in meditation almost.
It's like you're right. Being present and just experience it, like make it an experience. So,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, women want an experience. So, and then
Yes, and they want you to go slow. Guys, you got to go slow and you've got to tease them more. Tease, tease, tease. You have to learn the art of tease. That means going close and then making space, going somewhere else, going close to all those erogenous zones and then moving away from them.
let me ask you about that too, because I know there was like a lot of comments about this where guys feel like if they tease too long, then they would feel like their partner doesn't would kind of resent them a little bit because they tease a little bit, they tease a lot longer than normal, I guess. Do you have anything you want to touch on that whole thing?
Yeah,
Like a guy who overthinks that?
yeah, the guy who overthinks that needs to talk to their woman or their male partner, whatever
Hear
partner they have.
that?
They need to talk to their partners about that so that they can learn. As a matter of fact, do talk to people before. I've
Yes.
got in Honeymoon Playbook hot conversation starters that'll tell you, it'll explain to your partner what you want just by having a date night. When you have these date nights and people are on their phones,
Yeah.
have a date night instead and answer these questions where you can learn how to get your partner more excited about making love to you. Like,
Is there
why
a
not do
sample
that on a date
question?
night?
Is there any, could you give like a sample question that you would tell the audience?
Okay, sure. So you could ask them things like, what kind of kiss do you want to get started? So you could, you maybe want a take me kiss where you like the person grabs you, pulls you by the hair and kisses your neck. You might want to have that kind of lovemaking.
Oh man, well, I don't want you to say too much over. I don't want you to just like ask, like say too many conversation starters, but I want to like make sure that that was one out there, and
Yeah, that's one. And then,
catered.
there's a lot of things that you can ask your partner to see what they like. How much foreplay would you like? Ask those questions beforehand. What would an ideal lovemaking session look like, right? There's lots of questions, some that aren't even in my book, but do communicate with open-ended questions. Don't ask a question where you just get a yes or no answer. Explain what that would look like, right? Explain how that would feel if I did that to you.
Right.
How would I know that I'm on the right course? Do you
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sounds when you're making love? Am I going to hear something from you? Or am I just going to see you shake? Am I going to see you breathe hard? Like, find out before actually, when you find somebody that you really, really, really like, I would highly recommend that you don't go to bed right away with them. I would I would recommend that you take time to simmer them
Hmm.
and get to know them. Enjoy that sexual energy that you're building together, because if this is the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with,
Yeah.
you want to make sure that you've had a beautiful time during that sexual tension, the sexual energy part. And if you can't talk to them, I mean, this is a choice. This is a choice. But my idea for my clients would be, find out how you can make sure that this guy or this girl can make love to you the way you want to the first time. So first time hookup sex is not going to be a disappointment. It's going to be an amazing, amazing experience. And by getting to know what they love and for you to say what you love, is you're with the right person if you can have those conversations, because this open communication is what we need.
Open communication. And that's basically what I tell everybody, especially all the subscribers out there. It's just like, just talk about it. You know, if you can't talk about it, then it's not gonna go the way you want it to, because you're afraid to talk about it. And I did talk about, and there's just so much, just be upfront about it. If you can stand your
Mhm.
ground, talk about it. It's communication. That we have a mouth to talk and ears for a reason. It's to listen. So I hear what you're saying. So I hear what you're saying with all of that. Now, what about what about the men? Like, what do they ask you?
How to pleasure women, you mean,
Well, yeah,
with regards to sex? Because I do the whole gamut.
yeah.
They they basically, they just want to learn how to do it. Like, they want to learn techniques. They want to gain confidence too, because a
Yeah.
lot of them don't have confidence. So I have to work on their confidence at the beginning and work up. And I think with them, uh, teaching them how to pleasure a woman makes them feel so confident. Once they learn how, I teach something called orgasmic massage. And after I teach this, all the couples that come to me the next day are
Mhm.
glowing. Like, they're looking at each other with gaga eyes and they're just in heaven. So I make sure I teach this to all of my dating clients,
Yep.
because eventually you're going to get to the point where you're going to be dating for a while, you're going to make love, and all of a sudden you want to up the ante. You up the ante with an orgasmic massage. So it is just going to send them to the next level. They're going to feel so good. They're glowing and they're happy, and it's just the most beautiful experience that you'll probably ever have in lovemaking, I think.
And I want to ask this though, because I've made a video about, should you get back with an ex if they had sex with someone else after a breakup? What if a guy who has an opportunity, he sleeps with his ex, right? And he wants to get back with her, but she's kind of just still on the fence about it, which I, it's, yeah, whatever. Would you, if a guy gives his ex like a great experience, would that up his chances of like getting back together?
Hell yes.
You hear that, fellas?
Because especially if lovemaking was a problem and you're giving them the solution by for example doing an orgasmic massage for a woman,
Hmm.
or you're paying attention to her and you're taking your time and you learn how to tease her properly, and you just make the whole world about her for that session, right?
Yeah.
And that's what she probably wants more than anything. She wants you
Yep.
to probably be the center of her world. And if you do that to her, she's going to turn towards you and say, wow, you should really be excited about what you have. But I would look at all the other things that you need to work on too.
Yep.
I would do a very holistic kind of approach. And I would ask the couples that are in the situation, they really want to get back together. I would do a Gottman's therapy kind of diagnostic test, which
Okay.
I offer, which is you do couple interviews so I can get to know you. But then I would probably do this. You do these tests online, and I get back to them and I tell them, these are the positives about your couple. This is what you need to work on. This is what I'm prescribing for you guys to work on. I usually pick 3 or 4 myself, and then I ask them, what else do you guys want to work on?
Yeah.
And honestly, Dominic, the first ones are usually always communication, because that's usually always what
Eh,
goes on.
and it's such an obvious thing to do, but nobody wants to do it. I mean, I've had a friend that always communicated with me about his situations, and I always tell him, talk about it with her, talk about it with her, talk about it with her. And honestly, sometimes he would do it and sometimes he wouldn't. And that comes back, you got to stand your ground, man. You got to be honest about it, because if you hold something back, you're never being honest about it. Now,
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be my last question, but I had another question. There was another question that popped up for guys who experience with women who are just so nasty behavior, not even just nasty behavior, they're sweet, but sometimes these women, they're rude to you, they're just like, they scoff you and all this, whatever you could think of, right? Would you tell the guys that she's probably hinting that she's sexually frustrated?
I would tell the guys, bring her in so I can teach her how to communicate her needs. Because when a woman doesn't express what she needs in a soft way, the guy's not going to listen. If you're yelling, it just sounds like maybe what her mother did or what this woman's mother did,
Yeah.
probably because you copy behaviors from your parents a lot of the time. I would have her in and maybe learn how to communicate, teach her how to communicate properly. And if she knew that this would make their relationship so much better, actually, all of my clients that want to improve their relationship, they put the effort in. It's a lot of work, because changing the way you communicate is really hard. But I make it really easy by giving them a really good formula to
Okay.
communicate, and they need to follow that formula. And if their spouse or partner hears them forget to do it, I'd say to them, can I have a redo? And we discuss that. What are we going to say in the session if your wife is coming to you yelling at you or screaming at you? Then he would say, can I have a redo? Can you start that over, please? I would discuss that, what it would look like. And then
Yeah.
she does the redo. And if she still yells, then you might need to say, you know what, honey, I feel like we need to calm things down a little bit, and we'll talk again. And I promise you I'll come back in 20 minutes and we'll talk again.
Walk
So you can
away.
cool off a little bit.
Pretty much walk away, let things cool down, and then
Don't walk away mad. Walk away communicating, saying, I don't want to get mad at you again. I don't want to get on the defense and get mad at you. I want us to both cool down. I love you. It's the hardest thing you can say at that point, because you might hate them at that very moment.
yeah,
But I care about us, and I don't want to be going somewhere where I'm going to regret, like swear or say something mean to her, or even walk out. Stonewalling is when you
yeah,
walk out. You don't want to be a stonewaller. You don't want to be putting her down, that you're the bigger person here. No, you're a team. You're equals.
yep.
So doing it with love is the way to go. I would say that's the best way to move forward with your partner.
All right. I actually remember someone asked me this earlier, and because I knew that I was going on this call with you, and I asked, like, what questions do you have? So, what is one position that you tell guys to go in to give a woman an orgasmic experience?
Give her the position where you know that you or she has access to her clitoris,
Mm.
because her clitoris needs to be stimulated
Right.
while you're penetrating, unless you've already given her an orgasm, and she might have another one. Women can have
Maybe.
multiple orgasms, and some men can too. So why not do it in a position where she's open to be able to stick her finger there, stick her sex toy there, and don't make it like she can't do anything with her finger or her sex toy because you're always like in the way, right? Like
Yeah.
make it open so that she can do that, right? Make it sure she's got open possibilities to get there. Or you can, at the beginning, women might be shy to touch themselves. I really highly recommend that women do that and learn how to do that, because a confident woman is hot. A
Hmm.
guy can play and learn how to play with your clitoris while you're penetrating. You can do that too. But why not do other things with your hands,
Yeah.
right? Like make her feel like she's got two, three people making love to her at the same time, guys. And women, both of you.
I really do enjoy. I'm actually enjoying this conversation a lot more. I mean, obviously, this is it's always fun for me to talk about this kind of stuff, especially with you, MC. So,
Oh,
okay, and where can people find you, MC?
I'm at relationshipbliss.ca because that's what I want. I want my couples to feel bliss. So relationshipbliss.ca, and they can find me on Facebook also at Relationship Bliss. And just go to my website and you can book a free 15-minute call and we can see if we're a fit. I'd love to be able to help you to find, love, connection, bliss.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you got, and that's if you guys are looking to enhance your sex experience, then you can definitely find MC at the website relationshipbliss.ca. And if
Oh,
you're
and I have a podcast too. I should tell you about my podcast. It's
just
called A
podcast,
Passion Perspective.
Passion Perspective,
Yes,
where can they find it? Can they find it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts?
all of those.
All of them. All right.
Sorry, you sounded so good on your exit thing. I want to hear it again. You sounded so good. You're good at that.
Well,
Sorry
yeah,
to interrupt
I will
you.
get into it, but look, you guys, and of course, you guys know where to get the books. You guys know where to find relationshipbliss.ca and, of course, Passion Podcast, right? So
Passion Perspective.
Passion Perspective podcasts, of course, and of course, if you are also someone that wants to get over their ex, you can get my brand new book called 10 Simple Tips Get Over Your Ex on Amazon. And of course, if you find this information valuable with me and MC, I want you to drop a like, drop a comment, drop a share, and of course, it is your man's Mr. Dominic Cruz with the lovely MC. I really enjoy having you on this video. I can't wait to share with others. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take it easy.
You're so much fun, Dominic.